Hello and thanks for stopping by. This is Spy Hunter for the NES, released by Sunsoft in 1987. This game is a vertical scrolling car driver where you play a secret agent in a supercar, trying to survive as you drive somewhere that I don't think they ever explain. You can shoot machine guns from the front of your car, and as you make your way deeper into the game, supply trucks start to appear, and you can drive inside the trucks. They will equip you with additional weapons, and they're really fun to use, like an oil slick or a smoke screen or potentially missiles. These are things you can use to slow down cars behind you or potentially shoot down helicopters. This is a decent port of the arcade game. The arcade graphics are different, of course, but they're close enough overall. There are various enemies to worry about. There's a blue car that has spikes from its tires, and if they bump you from the side, they'll blow out your tires and you'll crash. There's also a bulletproof car that you can't destroy by shooting. They'll try to bump you off the road. And then there's a limousine that if it gets beside you, somebody's going to hang out of the window with a gun and try to shoot you. Basically, all the enemies are blue in this game, so if you see a blue car, it's probably an enemy. A helicopter will show up after a while and it'll attempt to drop bombs on you. They make a distinct sound when they start to drop, so it probably isn't too hard to figure out how to dodge them. You can shoot most enemies to destroy them. You can either shoot them directly, or some you can bump off the road, or possibly use special weapons to make them crash. Try to avoid civilian vehicles and any road hazards if you can. You can call a weapons van when you enter a new territory by pressing the start button. If you end up with multiple weapons, you can scroll through them using the select button, but honestly, I never last long enough in this game to collect enough weapons where I need to scroll through them. You get points in this game by just surviving. There's a rolling scorecard at the top of the screen, though I never really cared much about getting points in this game, just getting as far as I could. 10,000 points will get you another car, if you can score that 10,000 points before the little timer at the bottom of the screen runs out. After you get your first free car, it's 30,000 for every next car. If you get far enough, you'll have the option of entering the boathouse. If you do this, it will switch your car into a boat, and basically you do the exact same thing you did with the car, but now you're a boat on a river. All you have to do is dodge or shoot other boats, and avoid the helicopter. Try to survive as long as you can. The zones seem pretty standard in this one. The grass is green, or it's a deserty type of area, that sort of thing. But after a while, this strange zone appears, at least in the NES version. I've never made it that far, but I caught a long play online. There's this bright white section that's kind of confusing looking. I assumed at first it was an icy snow zone, but I'm not sure if it is, because the trees in the area, they all appear to be palm trees, so I'm not exactly sure what it is. So I guess eventually the scenes change and they get a little weird. Spy Hunter isn't a story game, and I don't think there's an end to this game either. I think it just loops. It's just a standard driving game of sorts with some interesting offensive capabilities. Sometimes it's just fun to drive around and shoot stuff in video games, I guess. Spy Hunter was an arcade staple back in the day, back when arcades were a big thing. It existed in a few different forms as well. There was a stand-up version, and there was a sit-down console as well. They both sported a split steering wheel with triggers to fire your guns. There was also a button in the center of the steering wheel that triggered your special. It turns out this game exists for many different systems, and apparently it was also ported to the Atari 2600. I have a 2600 collection, and I will certainly have to try to track this one down. I'm always interested to see what actually made it to that system. Well, that's all I have for Spy Hunter for the NES, I think. Thanks for stopping by for a watch, and I'll catch you next time.